Welcome, Sens Talk.
Russell winds in, feeds it back across the strike, and scores! Brady Tkachuk makes it 2-0. Claude Giroux, hit along, scores!
Tim Stutzock cross, Tkachuk score! The captain, Brady Tkachuk, buries it with 1:18 to go.
See you later. Go, Sens, go. Sens win 3-0 over the Carolina Hurricanes. I can't do a regular recap. I gotta start from the end and make my way back. My goodness, what a win by your Ottawa Senators. They take down the Carolina Hurricanes in a statement game. They were the lone game tonight in the National Hockey League. The whole league was watching, and I hope they were. They put the league on notice with a statement win tonight as they take down a formidable opponent, the Carolina Hurricanes, by a score of 3-0. Linus Ullmark. There's been multiple games in a row where this guy undoubtedly has deserved a shutout. Didn't get it. But tonight, he got it. And let's just say he more than earned that shutout. My goodness, what a game by Linus Ullmark. But you're probably wondering, Brandon, that's great and all, but how did we get there? Why are you so excited? How did we beat the Carolina Hurricanes? Great question. So, I know you clicked on this video for the recap, so let's get into the recap. So, going into this game, Ottawa, let's just say, hasn't had a great track record against the Carolina Hurricanes in Carolina. They have won only twice. 1-2. Just 2 in the last decade in Carolina. That's not great. I'm not a science expert. I'm not a math expert. That's not great. However, going into this game, Ottawa certainly is on the right track. In their last 5 games, they've won 3 of those, losing 1 in overtime and the other in regulation. So 4 of the last 5 games, they've gotten a point. And that's going to be pivotal because you know what? The next 10 out of 11 games are going to be on the road for your Ottawa Senators. So they're going to have to keep that good play up. Hold on. Bring back the danger flutes, by the way. My goodness. What a joke that's gone. But anyways, not going to get into negative stuff. So yeah, the next 10 out of 11 are on the road for Ottawa because of the World Juniors. They got to build off this good stretches of late. Let's just say things are looking great on that. As you all know, we got it done tonight. But going into this game, Ottawa was 13-13-2. And yet another chance tonight for Ottawa to get over 500. They've struggled at getting over 500. They've had multiple opportunities since being over 500 in early November. But they've choked those opportunities away. Tonight, they would look to not make that mistake again. So for that, let's get into the game. Linus Ullmark would start for the Ottawa Senators. And oh my goodness, this was easily one of the best goalie clinics I've seen by an Ottawa Senator goaltender since the Craig Anderson days. This was an unbelievable start, and I didn't watch Linus Ullmark as much as I'm watching him now, of course, in Buffalo and Boston. But it's safe to say, in my opinion, that had to have been one of his better performances. And if not, my goodness, this guy's just a superstar because that was such a great game. One of the best goalie performances, honestly, frankly, outside of the Sens, just in general, I've ever seen. He stole that game for Ottawa. Stole's the wrong word. Ottawa earned the win. They played and kept pace with the Carolina Hurricanes, but my goodness. I mean, this guy made 32 stops, and I'd say 12 of them were like highlight reel, unbelievable athletic stops, quick reaction. I mean, my goodness. And, going into this game, he was 0-6-1 in his career against Carolina. So it wasn't exactly like, it's a guarantee Linus Ullmark's going to dominate. Even though, of course, his last 5 games, he has been dominating. You never know, right? But there was some debate about whether we should start Forsberg and Ullmark tonight. Obviously, you start Ullmark tonight. And you're going to start him tomorrow, in my opinion. You got to start Ullmark, especially with how he played tonight. There's no doubt about it. I made the same argument in my last few videos. I'm not going to give you the whole spiel. You already know it. But the point very simply is he's in a groove. This team is in a groove when he's playing. And when your goalie is in a groove, you never get in the way of that. People talk about we got to save him for the playoffs. Let's get to the playoffs first, all right? So he should start tomorrow. The Penguins are they're kind of middling right now, but still a very formidable opponent, just like tonight. Not as good, but still tough to play against. You got some good players, of course, on that Penguins team. So you got to start them again. Get as many points as you can, especially, again, that's a home game. The next 10 after that or 9 after that are on the road, okay? So, again, in an ideal situation, a comfortable environment, a situation where Ottawa should benefit, of course, you're at home. Start the guy that's getting you all these points. Start the guy you've committed millions of dollars to. Start the guy that's been fantastic his last 6 games. Linus Ullmark has to start tomorrow, in my opinion. In an ideal situation, a home game, the last one in literally almost a month, 3 weeks, you got to do it. Again, Ottawa's 2 days off after tomorrow's game, and their next game is on Tuesday against the Kraken. It's a 10 o'clock start. So you got a lot of resting time as well. It's a no-brainer, in my opinion, to start Ullmark in the next game. Last thing before we get to the game recap, Oliver Wahlstrom is on waivers from the Islanders. Should we make the claim? I say yes. I think, well, look. The bottom 6 tonight was fantastic. We're going to get into that in a second. And they've been really good as of late. But offensively, they haven't really been able to break through. Oliver Wahlstrom hasn't really been able to put it together in, New York, but he's a very good goal scorer. He's a pure goal scorer. He's played before, with the World Juniors, for example, with Josh Norris. He has some experience with some of the guys on this team. So, in my opinion, this is the first player this year where I'm like, maybe we should make that waiver claim. The first player on the waiver wire, in my opinion, this year that's worth a look. So let me know what you think in the comment section down below. But maybe, just maybe, the bottom 6 crack through tonight, and that continues moving forward, and we won't even need Oliver Wahlstrom. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section down below about that. So let's go to the first period of play, and early on, in the first few minutes, I'm like, oh no. I think the Carolina Hurricanes are about to walk all over the Ottawa Senators again, and we're about to lose yet another game in Carolina. But kudos to Linus Ullmark. He steadied the waters early on and helped Ottawa get into a groove, making some huge stops. Get ready for that. Talk about Linus Ullmark. A lot of talk about Linus Ullmark in this one. Let me tell you that, because this guy stood on his head. It was unbelievable. And again, in that first period of play, he came clutch a few times. And it's not just Linus Ullmark. Kudos to the Ottawa Senators for, building off of that momentum from Linus Ullmark and his solid performance to start the game, to start to push back in their own right. They got some good offensive opportunities. They really started to even out the game, but they would take a couple of costly penalties. And look, this is where I'm like, oh, here we go again. The last 9 games, Ottawa, and 7 of those have given up a power play goal. However, the last game, 5 for 5 was the penalty kill against the Ducks. So, they're looking to build off of that, and they did. Nick Cousins, a tripping penalty in that first period. Got to be better than that, my friend. You're a veteran. But you know what? With the way you played throughout that game, I'm just going to be okay with it because you played a very good game, my friend. But the tripping penalties, the penalties in general, you just got to cut it out. It's so often from, your third and fourth line, particularly there, of course, from Nick Cousins. You just can't have it. And then JBD also takes a penalty. And again, kudos to Linus Ullmark on both of these penalty kills. He was really, really strong. JBD takes a penalty, gets beat to the net. And, kudos to Linus Ullmark. Shout out to him. Big poke check. If you're a 2BC fan, you know what I'm talking about. The flying poke check. We didn't see that here, of course, from Linus Ullmark, but a poke check nonetheless, as Ottawa and the Canes will be tied at 0 after 20 minutes of play. And you absolutely take that score on the road against one of the best teams in the National Hockey League, as the Canes led in shots 10-6. Ullmark with a few critical stops, but again, shout out to the Sens, especially that third line. They were generating all night. They had a really good pushback there, in that first period as well. But kudos to all 4 lines, the defensive pairings, and of course Ullmark for really, calming the waters, turning the tide, and playing strong hockey at all times. Again, all the lines tonight looked very, very good. No one was getting caved in. So to the second period of play, Ottawa wants to build off of 2 massive penalty kills, and they do. 5 minutes in, Nick Jensen holds his own. It's Michael Amadio. He's taking his time. He feeds Pinto beads. Shane Pinto, and my goodness, Shane Pinto, he's looked so good as of late, but he desperately needs to get the monkey off his back. He hasn't scored in like 20 games, but he has one here. Shane Pinto, 1-0 Ottawa. Ottawa breaks through with the opening goal, a massive goal, as Shane Pinto opens the scoring to end a 20-game goalless drought and a 15-game pointless streak. Unbelievable that he's been held scoreless and pointless for so long. He's looked so great as of late. That third line's been one of the better lines for Ottawa. But again, you can't explain stuff sometimes. And again, that one, you just saw it on your screen. Look at that celebration. Look at that smile from Shane Pinto. That one felt great. And again, great pinch there from Jensen to hold the zone, to force the turnover. Nice patience there from Amadio. And by the way, shout out to Nick Cousins. Great teammate to Sully with Pinto and the way he did there. I think that was awesome. That's just awesome to see. The camaraderie there, that's incredible. Kind of Mark Stone-esque in that way, that kind of energy. But for Shane Pinto, he finally gets rewarded with a goal after such strong plays of late. That one must feel so good for him. A great shot. And Ottawa, look, they're 11-2-0 when scoring the first goal. So things are looking good for Ottawa. And after 40 minutes of play, they would be up by a goal. Thanks to, of course, that goal there from Shane Pinto. But also Linus Ullmark. My goodness, at this point of the game, he has 19 saves. I'd say 10 of those were high danger chances that frankly should have went in, but they didn't because Linus Ullmark is just an absolute stud of a goaltender. So he had 19 saves through the first 40 minutes of play. And shout out to Alex Adams of Sportsnet, friend of the show, for the stat. Dating back to the game against San Jose 6 games ago at this point of the game, Linus Ullmark has stopped 172 of 181 shots for a 950 save percentage. My goodness, that is fantastic, ladies and gentlemen. That is unbelievable. That's actually crazy when you think about it. A 950 save percentage? No wonder Ottawa's on a roll. And again, no wonder why we should start him tomorrow. But again, we'll save that for the game notes. But we go to the third period of play. Ottawa is leading. And when they lead, Ottawa is 11-1-0 this year. Again, you're playing a formidable opponent like the Carolina Hurricanes, who are 4-6-0 this year when they're down going to the third period. So by no means this game is over. Oh, and by the way, Sportsnet and Sens fans on Twitter, let's just say, are not on good terms right now. Sportsnet stats department put out a tweet, and you don't have to believe in jinxes and whatnot, but my goodness, why do you got to do this? They put out an interesting stat here. I'm not gonna lie, but why do you got to say the word? They said, tonight marks the 8th time this season the Senators have shut out their opponent through 2 periods. It's the most in the National Hockey League. Look, that is interesting, and Ullmark really does deserve a shutout tonight. There's been a few games as of late where he frankly should have got the shutout, but gave up a late goal in the third period. When I saw that, I'm like, is Sportsnet trying to wage war with Ottawa Senator fans? But luckily, it did not matter whatsoever. Let's just say Linus Ullmark does not believe in jinxes, I guess, because he took care of business, regardless of that tweet. As Ottawa, they're a little bit on their heels there in the third period of play, but overall, they're playing still a very strong game. They're really pushing against Carolina. Batherson had some really good looks. He had a really good game. Stützle, Tkachuk, Norris, they were all a little quiet tonight. I was a little surprised. But again, it's okay for the big guys to take a night off once in a while. And by night off, I mean they weren't, not playing well. They weren't, not playing with any energy or whatnot. They just weren't leading the way offensively. That's okay. They don't have to do it 24/7. Frankly, you're not going to win if they're doing it 24/7. It was the bottom 6 tonight carrying the way offensively for Ottawa. And with about 5 minutes left, after Ottawa squanders a power play opportunity, and I'm getting nervous at this point. Let me tell you, I'm getting nervous. Take a big, deep breath, because with about 5 minutes left, just after that power play, Nick Jensen pinches in after a strong forecheck by the third line, keeps the cycle going, as Nick Cousins, along the boards, sees Jensen pinching in. What a nice read here from Nick Cousins along the boards to feed Jensen, who's pinching in. Jensen puts it 5-hole to give Ottawa the 2-goal lead. What a goal here for Nick Jensen, who was fantastic tonight, as Ottawa leads by 2. Pinto would get the second of the night for himself into the empty net, as your Sens win 3-0 over the Carolina Hurricanes. A massive victory for your Ottawa Senators as they take care of business and get a statement win against the Carolina Hurricanes. A statement victory. The lone team tonight playing in the National Hockey League. Everyone around the National Hockey League was watching tonight, and they just put all of them on notice. Keep on watching. Keep on seeing what the Ottawa Senators are doing, National Hockey League. We are doing some fun things, and that's all because of Linus Ullmark. His first win in his NHL career against the Carolina Hurricanes. His 10th shutout in his NHL career as well. Gotta give him a little bit of a round of applause, because frankly, he deserves it. He deserves a round of applause. That's also his second shutout of the year for the Ottawa Senators. So 2 out of his 10 shutouts in his NHL career are with Ottawa. Not too bad considering he's only started like 15 games or so. But yeah, 32 saves tonight. The reason why Ottawa won this game, no doubt about it. Now look, again, it's not like Ottawa didn't play well by any means. They played pretty solidly. But in that third period especially, Linus Ullmark had to come up clutch. Look at your screen right now. Look at this save. Oh, look at that save. Oh, look at this save. Oh, what about that one? Linus Ullmark was so good. I have to put a highlight reel for you guys to watch him. He was fantastic. And in his last 6 games, Linus Ullmark has stopped 185 of 194 shots for a 953 save percentage. Can somebody in the analytics community tell me if that's good or not? I think it is. And oh, and by the way, all the Linus Ullmark doubters, where are you? Where are you? I don't see you. I don't hear you. And I think I know why. You're embarrassed for how foolish you were. So I'm glad the peanut gallery around the NHL doubting Linus Ullmark have shut their lips, because honestly, they should never have opened their mouth. You'd never bet against a guy like Linus Ullmark, who has won a Vezina, who, by the way, is only the 3rd Sweden goalie ever to win a Vezina. Hockey Nation, not too bad. William B. Jennings Trophy, 920, 930 save percentages, and throughout his NHL career, no matter where he's played. Whoever doubted this guy doesn't know hockey, frankly, and I'm so glad to see the Linus Ullmark we know and expected is finally here, as Ottawa is now back over 500 for the first time in over a month. They're now 14-13-2, and yeah, that's right. Guess what? You know, as long as Linus Ullmark plays this well, they'll be sniffing around the playoffs. And oh, and by the way, we're only 2 points now out of a playoff spot with 1 game in hand, which again is why you got to start Linus Ullmark tomorrow. You have to start him tomorrow. You just have to. I mean, Ottawa has 2 days off after this, a late start against the Kraken on Tuesday, as I already said in this video. You got to take down a team like the Penguins who, yeah, they're middling. They're kind of in the middle of the pack, but they still got Crosby. They still got Malkin, Karlsson. Love Karlsson, by the way. So you gotta get the 2 points there. You gotta go with the hot hand. You gotta go with the guy that's single-handedly carrying us right now, and that's Linus Ullmark. The guy stopping more than 95% of the shots he's facing right now. I don't know about you. To me, that means you gotta start him. So we'll see what happens tomorrow, but in my opinion, this was a season-turning moment. No doubt about it, in my opinion. A statement victory over the Carolina Hurricanes. No other games in the National Hockey League tonight. Everyone saw it. It was a statement victory. Ottawa gets back over 500. We're right back into that playoff race. And again, with a big win tomorrow, could be tied for a playoff spot. So with that, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Should we start Linus Ullmark tomorrow? I certainly think we should. Let me know what you think down below, of course. But besides that, we'll see what they can do tomorrow against the Pittsburgh Penguins at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. But I'll be there to break it all down for all of you tomorrow night here at youtube.com/SensTalk. But what a victory, as Ottawa is back over 500 and right back in the thick of the playoff race. With that, I'll see you all soon. Go Sens, go.